I'm comfortable with the way I was born. I'm comfortable with my life. I don't necessarily have to be your inspiration. And I'm not doing much more in this world that you can't do or wouldn't do or shouldn't do or will do. I'm just living my life, and here's a little conversation about how we can better interact with people with disabilities from a disabled person's perspective. Okay, YouTube. So thanks for tuning in this week. I've been thinking about this topic for a little bit. Just the overall interaction between people with physical disabilities and people without physical disabilities. I lived my whole life born with one hand. I have missing left and right pieces of my feet, so I have a little bit of goofiness in my walk, but and that is something I'm comfortable with. I don't see myself as living with lack, and I don't feel that I'm at a big disadvantage in this world, and I'm not, I guess the way I feel is that in today's society, it's popular to look at people with physical disabilities as someone that is born with a huge disadvantage that we need to show them our compassion and feel sorry for them. And that's just not the way it needs to be done. And I think that if you, as a general public, can learn to interact with people with physical disabilities in a more realistic and normal way, we can all have a better experience. You have to understand it's okay to not know what to say, but there's surely a lot better way you can go about interacting with people with physical disabilities in this world. People stumble and fall over words around me all the time. Just even the simplest thing of, hey, do you need a hand? Yeah, I do, a left. But it's okay to stumble on this stuff. It's not like I wake up every day and I'm like, oh my God, I'm disabled. Oh, the world hated me. So relax and chill and understand. I'm able, I'm okay, and I don't need your pity, and I don't need to be your inspiration in life. And I'm not brave because I woke up today and walked out my house saying, look at me, world, I have one hand. It's not that dramatic. And so I think that, one, the way we interact with, raising kids and yourself and even older generations, there's like a mental shift that needs to happen. And it's very prevalent now because we talk about it with dealing with other people, different races, different ethnic backgrounds of all sorts, different religions. Like, there needs to be a reckoning in today's life where we need to acknowledge that we don't have the answers, but we need to learn to ask about people that are different from us, and we need to learn how to ask in a respectful way. I think that's so important. Instead of coming up to someone and assuming that you know the solution or assuming you're going to say the right thing, stop and pause and just allow the door to open and let the person dictate how they want to be treated by you. It's super simple. I think miscommunication is a massive problem with what's going on, and it just holds us back from progressing. And if you can understand from your world that each day I just got to open my mind up, learn, and be confident to ask a question and announce like, hey, I don't really get what you're going through, but I'm going to lay back, not try to over communicate my insecurities, and just roll with it. Some things I deal with a lot at work that really drive me nuts is when people come up to me and say, wow, I cannot believe that you do that with one hand, and if I just don't know what I would do. That is so weird to me. And the first thing I think is, wow, you must be a real moron, because if you can't figure out how to do day-to-day life, then I just feel so bad for you, because what have you missed out on in your world where you have such a limited belief of your possibilities? Don't ask people with disabilities like, what happened? or how did this go on? Like you're trying to figure out a mystery, and that something happened to me. I was born the way I was born, just like you were born the way you were born. Relax. It's cool. Like nothing happened to me. A tragedy didn't come upon me that I was cursed with to walk this earth, So even that just rolls the ball in a direction that makes it seem like something's wrong with me to you, and that I need to explain myself. And then when I present my explanation to you, you are there to either accept it or reject it. And I think right there, doesn't that get a little bit weird? Because it feels weird even saying that on YouTube right now. So other things that you need to acknowledge is, like, if you see someone with a disability and they seem like they're struggling to be doing something, they may not be struggling to do something. Maybe that's just how they do it. So you can always ask, like, hey, would you like some help with that? Don't go assuming, like, if someone's struggling to put a jacket on or something, I don't know, like, you don't just grab the jacket and just start manhandling them and put the jacket on. You would ask, you would be polite, and you would be more assuming that they know what you're doing. It's not like they don't know what they're doing. People don't walk around the earth being like, I don't know what I'm doing. I hope that someone just comes up and just fixes my life for me. So, in general, I just wanted to make a quick YouTube about this. This might come up a lot on this channel. I love talking about my disabilities when it is from a place that I believe there's a mutual respect, and not in a way where someone is trying to convince me that they understand my life, or that they're just inspired by me, or that they're impressed by me. And I think that this is all very valid, and people with physical disabilities, or disabilities in general, are these forgotten people in the world society, and they're kind of shunned as, like, the pitied, or the lost, or the disadvantaged people. But they're people doing wonderful things, living absolutely wonderful lives. And I mean, myself, I love my life. I love having one hand and having missing piece of my feet. It's not perfect when I want to go juggle, but I mean, I do everything I ever want. There's nothing that gets in my way. There's nothing that stops me. I feel like my brain is very creative, and I'm engaged in life because I'm constantly coming up with unique ways to express my desires. And what's really funny about it is, at the core of it, I think we all want to find our unique voice in this world. So, I was born with a unique voice, and now I get out there and express it, and just encourage people to talk about things in a respectful way, ask questions, stop assuming, stop staring at people like an idiot, look at someone in the eyes and smile and say hello. Don't assume the worst is happening and assume that people are just wandering around in crisis mode all the time. This is a way that we can reach out to each other and figure out better ways to communicate in a way that makes people feel like we're equal, we're on the same level. So thanks for tuning into this channel. I really appreciate it. Leave some comments below. I'd like to expand on this a lot more. So if you could leave a comment, maybe you have some further questions. I can always make lists about weird things to say or not to say to people, but I don't think that's very important as much as just having these open dialogues. So please reach out to me, leave comments, let me know your experiences. If you're out there living the world in some alternate faction like I am, or just keep doing yours and embrace your uniqueness. That's so important to me. Embrace your uniqueness. Embrace your uniqueness, your story. It's yours. We all are here for a reason. We have something special inside of us to share. We should be teaching each other. If each one teach one, oh man, this world would be such a better place. But as long as we're running around in our scared little glass houses and judging people, we're not going to communicate on a high intellectual level. So be well, be happy, and keep working on yourself. Self-development is so important. If you're struggling right now, know that you are loved and you can keep going, and there's someone out there that can understand, listen, and help. My name's Isaac.Merz. Thanks again. Please comment, share, like this video, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to come back more and more with different videos on various topics on self-help, self-development, self-understanding, self-awareness, self-acceptance, living with disabilities. We're going to go through it. I'm just going to open myself up. I think if I am vulnerable to you, then I can be of service to you. So thanks again. Have a good day.